Hello friends, today I will discuss the superposition theorem and numerical problem based on that. So here I will discuss first the necessity of this definition and the limitation of this theorem. First, the necessity is it is used to get the Norton's or Thevenin's equivalent circuit in the complex circuit. And coming to the definition, a linear bilateral network consisting of several means two or more voltage sources, current sources and passive elements. The current flowing through any branch is equal to the sum of the currents flowing when the individual sources act separately. Coming to the limitation, it cannot be used to calculate the power in the element. Let me consider a numerical problem like this. So the problem is given like this and it is required to calculate the current flowing through the 2 plus J3 ohms like this. So this is the one voltage source, this is another voltage source, this is called V1 and this is called V2 and the value of V1 is 30 volts at an angle of 0 degrees and this is 5 ohms and this is J5 and this is 2 ohms, this is J3 ohms and this is 6 ohms and this is 4 ohms and this V2 value is 20 at an angle of 0 degree volts and it is also given that the direction of the currents in this first loop is I1, second loop is I2, third loop is I3 and the direction is also fixed. So taking this into account, to apply the superposition theorem, first let us calculate what is the current flowing through this 2 plus J3 ohms using the KVL method. So in this KVL method, we take the circuit as it is, the presence of V1 and V2 simultaneously. As per this current direction, let us give the voltage polarity across each element. So for this instantaneous voltage, this is plus and this is minus, and for this, because the current enters here, this is plus and this is negative. Similarly here, I1 enters in this element, so this is plus and this is negative. Then, so next loop, this is the I2 enters here, so this is plus, and then here current leaves, so this is negative, and here also I2 enters here, so this is plus and this is negative, and the same I2 also enters here, so this is plus and this is negative. And coming to the third loop, current enters here, so this is plus and this is negative. And for this voltage source direction given, this is plus and this is negative. And same I3 flows here, so this is plus and this is negative. So after giving the voltage polarity like this, now we can write the KVL equation for this. So let us take first loop. So to write the voltage equation, we assume voltage rise is going from negative to positive in the assumed current direction, whereas voltage drop means if you get first plus next negative in the assumed current direction, we call that as voltage drop. So let us see here. So I1 is the first loop current. So in this I1 direction, for this voltage source, first negative, next positive. So it is a voltage rise. So it will get the positive sign. So we write 30 at an angle of 0 degrees. And then here I1 is flowing through this. And same thing also flows through this. So we say that is Z11 means self impedance of the first loop. I1 flows there. So because first getting plus next negative, we call that as voltage drop, and voltage drop will get the negative sign. So we write like this, minus 5 plus J5 into I1. So here I2 is also flowing. So there is a voltage drop in this, but that I2 enters here, so it is plus here, it is negative here. In other words, I2 is flowing opposite to the I1 direction. So the voltage drop across this element will have the opposite sign of voltage across this 5 ohms. So that is, we write J5I2, because I2 is flowing against the I1, so we get here plus sign here, then is equal to 0. Then after rearranging these terms, we get like this, 5 plus J5 into I1 minus J5 I2 is equal to 30 volts. Similarly, for second loop also we can write like this. So second loop self impedance is nothing but adding all the elements, that is here 6 plus 2 is the real element, that is 8, and here J5 and J3. So when you add this J8 we get, so 8 plus J8 is the Z22 element, and the current flowing through the second loop is I2, so we put here. But I1 is also flowing to this element, that is J5, but that I1 direction is opposite to the direction of the I2, so that will get the opposite sign of the I2 voltage drop in this. So the opposite sign of this means here we are getting plus, so automatically here we get negative, minus J5 I1. So next minus, so there is another element here I3 that flows through this, and that there is a voltage drop in this due to the I3, but that I3 direction is opposite to the I2 direction, so here also the voltage drop will have the opposite sign. So we get minus 6 I3 minus 6 I3 is equal to 0. This is the second loop equation. Next, coming to the third loop, so when you look at this branch, so here there is a current flowing I2 in this, and I3 is also flowing, but I2 is flowing against the I3. So the voltage drop across the 6 ohms will have the opposite sign, the I2. So that is minus 6 I2 we get here, and then here 4 I3 we get here, so that is 4 I3 plus, and this 6 also there because it is a self impedance, so 6 plus 4, that is 10 I3 will flow in this, drop is there in this, so we write here plus 10 I3 is equal to minus 20 at an angle of 0 degrees. This negative sign is coming because this is the given direction, whereas the current direction I3 is like this. So this is against the conventional direction, the I3. So this value will get the negative sign. So we get minus sign here. So when you write this voltage equations in the matrix form, we get like this. 5 plus J5 minus J5 0 minus J5 8 plus J8 minus 6 0 minus 6 10 I1 I2 I3 30 0 minus 20. So our desire is to calculate what is I2. So to get that I2, we have to replace this second column with the right hand side matrix and then divide that with the det. That means this original matrix. That original matrix we call that as delta Z. So when we calculate the determinant for this, we get 624 at an angle of 83.55 degrees. So having known this delta Z, so we can calculate what is I2. I2 is nothing but is equal to We replace the second column with the right hand side matrix. So we get like this: 5 plus j5 30, 0, minus j5 0, minus 6 0, minus 20 10. And by dividing that with the determinant, that is delta z, we get the current I2, and which we call total current due to the two sources working simultaneously, is nothing but 1.74 at an angle of 40.1 degrees. So this is the current flowing through the 2 plus J3 ohms when both the sources are present in the circuit, and when we apply the KVL equation or loop equations. But the given problem is, so we have to solve this problem by using the superposition theorem. To apply the superposition theorem, we have to use one source at a time and then find out the current flowing to the desired branch. Case 1 is when V1 acts alone. So that is V2 should be short circuited. So because V2 is a voltage source, we have to short circuit. Suppose it is a current source, we have to open it. So then the diagram will become like this. So replacing V2 with short circuit. Again, now apply the KVL for this. So then we get 5 plus J5, that is nothing but Z11 into I1 minus J5 I2 dash, because this is the I2 dash that is flowing through this I2 dash direction is opposite to the I1, so it will get the voltage drop also opposite sign as that of the I1 voltage drop. So we get here minus J5 I2 dash is equal to 30. And then similarly we can write the loop equation for second loop. So Z21 is nothing but minus J5, there is this, and current flowing there is I1, so we will write I1 plus Z22 means 8 plus J8 into I2 dash. Next there is another current flowing here, I3, that is flowing against the I2 I2 dash, so we get here minus 6 I3 is equal to 0. Similarly there is third loop. So here I2 is flowing here, but its direction is opposite to the I3. So we get here minus 6 I2 dash. Then coming to the loop 3 impedance, that is 6 plus 4, that is 10 I3. It will come here plus 10 I3 is equal to 0. This is third equation, this is second loop equation, this is the first loop equation. When we put it in the equation matrix form, we get like this. Then to get I2 dash, we have to replace the second column with the right hand side matrix and then solve for I2 dash. So before we write the equation for I2 dash, so first of all we have to calculate what is the determinant of this. So determinant of that we represent as delta Z like this. Once we calculate its value, then we get 624 at an angle of 83.55 degrees. Now we can write the I2 dash equation like this. So we replace the second column in the original matrix with right hand side matrix like this, then divide with the determinant delta Z. Then we, after simplification of the numerator, we get minus 30 into minus J50 divided by 624 at an angle of 83.55 degrees. Once we further simplify, we get I2 dash as 2.43 at an angle of 6.45 degrees. Next, case 2. When V2 acts alone, so we replace the V1 with short circuit like this because it is a voltage source. Then remaining circuit will be as it is, and remember here the current directions is not changed. Only thing is here the assumed current in the second loop is I2 dash, I2 double dash. So now again we write the loop equations for loop 1, loop 2, loop 3 like this. So loop 1 equation will become like this: Z11 I1, that is Z11 means 5 plus J5 into I1. Next there is another current flowing I2 double dash whose direction is opposite to the I1, so its voltage drop will get the opposite sign as that of the I1 voltage drop. So minus J5 I2 double dash is equal to 0. This is first loop equation. Next, similarly second loop equation also we get, that is minus J5 I1 plus 8 plus J8 into I2 double dash minus 6 I3 is equal to 0. Next, for the third loop, we get the equation like this: minus 6I2 double dash plus 10I3 is equal to minus 20 at an angle of 0 degrees. So when we write this in the matrix form, we get the equation like this: 5 plus J5, minus J5, 0, minus J5, 8 plus J8, minus 6, 0, minus 6, 10, I1, I2 double dash, I3, 0, 0, minus 20. So to get the I2 double dash, we have to replace this second column with the right hand side matrix and then divide that with this matrix determinant. So let us calculate first that I2 dash. So I2 dash means we write the equation like this. So we are replacing here second column with the right hand side matrix. Then we get 5 plus J5 minus J5, 0, 0, minus 20 at an angle of 0 degrees, and here 0, minus 6, 10 divided by delta z. This delta z we already calculated, so we put that value here, and numerator when we simplify it we get like this: minus 20 into 42.4 at an angle of minus 135 degrees. After further simplification we get 1.36 at an angle of 141.45 degrees. So once we add I2 dash and I2 double dash, then we say that is the total current flowing through the 2 plus J3 ohms. So that we write like this and we call that as I2T. Then once we add those two, we get 2.43 at an angle of 6.45 degrees plus 1.36 at an angle of 141.45 degrees. Then resultant will be 1.74 at an angle of 40.1 degrees. So let me summarize once. We have seen in this the definition of that and the application of this the superposition theorem, and we have also seen the limitation of the superposition theorem, and we have also seen the current flowing through the 2 plus J3 ohms is nothing but 1.74 at an angle of 40.1 degrees, and we have calculated initially with the help of loop method, and we after that we applied the superposition theorem, and then we calculated the current supplied by the each individual voltage source to the 2 plus J3 ohms, and then we have added both the currents and we obtained the total current as 1.74 at an angle of 40.1 degrees, and it is observed that the current flowing through the 2 plus J3 ohms is same with the superposition theorem and also with the loop method as 1.74 at an angle of 40.1 degrees.